You are watching our live and rolling election coverage. The Mahayuti alliance, which includes the Eknath Shinde-led Shiv Sena, BJP and the Ajit Pawar faction of the NCP, is all set to return to power in the state of Maharashtra. The alliance clean swept the assembly polls in the state by comfortably managing to cross the majority mark. The BJP alone easily passed the 100-seat mark, currently at 128 seats, making it the largest single party in the state. Dheeraj Deshmukh, the younger son of former Chief Minister Vilasrao Deshmukh, lost Latur rural constituency. His brother Amit Deshmukh is facing a tough challenge in Latur urban. The Worli seat saw a tough battle between Shiv Sena UBT candidate Aditya Thackeray and Shinde Sena's Milind Deora, finally giving an edge to the younger Thackeray. Now, that is, of course, as far as Maharashtra is concerned. But we just heard Devendra Fadnavis a couple of minutes back, and he talked about what actually led to the victory of Mahayuti in Maharashtra. He spoke about the fake narratives which have been demolished. It's a victory lap, of course, for Mahayuti, and Devendra Fadnavis there, smiling to the cameras. It's his day. And, of course, there is celebration. Ajit Jha is joining us here in the studio. Ajit, the Mahayuti, well-deserved victory lap there, as you're seeing on your screens. He's saying it's not just one section or two sections, all sections that voted for us. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been the single largest party in the state assembly.
Well, remember, it's not only the single largest party. In fact, the BJP has been the single largest party for the last 3 times. In fact, 2014, they won 122. 2019, it came down a little bit, 105. They were still the single largest party, this time 128. So it's 3 consecutive single largest party wins. I think it is a hegemonic victory. I mean, with the numbers they have today, 223, the latest numbers, you know, just the BJP, or in fact, not even the BJP, just the Shinde faction is almost equal to the MVA. So this is a rout for the MVA, and this is a tsunami victory for Devendra Fadnavis. Obviously, it came from all sections of society. If you look at the map of Maharashtra, you can see that. It's from all the regions. I mean, maybe in Bombay, maybe in Mumbai, they got the least amount in terms of percentage vote difference. But if you look at every other region, they have massive increase in terms of number of percentage vote. In fact, the average, I haven't seen the latest, but is almost like 11% more votes than the MVA. Remember, in March, April, they were minus 1% vote. Today, they are plus 11 to 12% vote. So this is a swing of 12%. It is unprecedented.
Just a matter of a couple of months.
Just a matter of a couple of months. So it is unprecedented victory. It's, I think, the tal mel, as we call it in Hindi, between the BJP and the 2 allies was extraordinary. I think the great leadership shown by Devendra Fadnavis and Shinde, along with Ajit Pawar, I think they did a great jugalbandi, and that is what has caused, of course, the Ladli Behna scheme everyone is talking about, but I think it is from all sections of society, maybe except for the minorities, because remember the very strident sort of slogans that had come, right? Katenge to batenge, ek hai to.
Safe hai.
Right. So other than that, I think basically they got from all sections, from, you know, OBCs, from Marathas, from upper castes, from Dalits, all across the society they have got. That's why this kind of massive mandate. In fact, if you remember the turnout figures, 68%. In the last 20 years, Maharashtra has never seen this kind of turnout. And what happens, Shweta, when the BJP knows the game of turnout, when the turnout is very high, what the BJP does, it is able to mobilize those voters which had not voted in the past. Not only the first-time voters. We're talking about voters 40-year-old, 45-year-old, those who were considered marginalized, they are able to mainstream them through slogans, and that is what has caused this extraordinary victory.
And a combination of factors there. Smith Singh, time for Congress to huddle back together to really understand what did not work out for you in the state of Maharashtra?
Yes, first I would like to congratulate you and everyone for the Jharkhand victory. And yes, of course, every election loss is an important learning lesson. And there's a lot to be learned of what went wrong in Maharashtra. And we will learn that. See, Congress is fighting an ideological battle with the BJP. We are fighting for the constitution. We are fighting for the people's rights. And this is the elections are part of that journey. It's a very long journey. And we have won in Jharkhand and we have lost in Maharashtra. We'll take it like that. And we'll keep working on that ideological battle. So it's just the beginning, and there's long way to go.
Okay, just
Can we have a question?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Singh Saab, one question to you. This is Ajit Kumar Jha. The question is, the main slogan of Rahul Gandhi, the main slogan of BJP was Constitution, caste survey. Maharashtra is the state of, the father of the Indian Constituent Assembly, right? Ambedkar Sahab. And he was the one who talked about the position of Dalits. What went wrong, ironically, in a state which is supposed to be, which supposed to be the big hero was, in this case, the Constitution, framer of Indian Constitution. What went wrong with that slogan of Samvidhan and caste survey? It did not work. In fact, it just turned around. Hindutva seems to have beaten, in this case, the Mandal, the new Mandal formula of Rahul Gandhi of the Congress. Why?
It's definitely take time. Ambedkar ji had a very long struggle, and we had a very long struggle for independence, very long struggle for having our constitution. And so this is a journey. We can't give the caste census idea. Probably most people won't understand what we mean by that. Most people who we are trying to benefit wouldn't get the message. And definitely our resources in fighting elections are much less than the BJP. Our resources in the social media, or even on the ground. So I think it's a long battle in getting that ideas, because the idea is to fight for social justice. The idea is to give,
Smith, what you believe to be social justice, people are already liking. It's the mandate of the people. They already like the policies of Mahayuti. They are quite favorable to Mahayuti for that matter. And the core of the problem is that the Congress party, its allies, the MVA, has not been able to get the mandate it so desired. So perhaps it's not just the promise of a better world tomorrow. It's your existing policies, what you put out, in your various papers, in what you put out in your election rallies, your pre-election rallies, that also did not work in your favor.
See, if we see our Nyay Patra, and we could see so many copies of that being passed by the cabinet, Maharashtra cabinet, just for the elections, the amount of resolutions passed by the Maharashtra elections, and many of them, they were seemingly coming from our manifesto, our agenda, and the Nyay Patra. See, ideas we were also putting forward. Perhaps people chose them, they were able to better communicate, but on everything that is good for the people, that is good for social welfare, they took the ideas from us. Doesn't matter. They didn't take ideas. It doesn't matter. If it's good for the people, it's a very good thing that is happening in the society. Now, the larger, big ideas that seem to be hard to grasp for the common people, like something like caste census, how is going to change everyone's life? What is the major fight? Probably we were not able to communicate it very well, and it's a long journey. In Jharkhand, we were able to communicate very well. The Jung Jungle Zameen idea, the rights of the tribals idea, Adivasi versus Vanvasi idea, we were able to articulate it much better. People understood they are fighting for our rights, our dignity, our respect, our resources, and they voted for the Congress and the India Alliance. So we were not able to communicate that in Maharashtra. Probably in the future we will be able to do. But this is a long journey, and as Sir mentioned, Ambedkar ji. So Ambedkar ji had a long journey, long fight for rights of social justice, for rights of people, and the same is going to be for the Congress, because caste census fight for the constitution is a major fight.
Singh Saab, Ajit Kumar Jha again. Does that mean that the Congress performs better when it is a secondary player, as in Jharkhand, whereas when it's the primary player, the number one player, as in Maharashtra, its performance ends up becoming quite bad, the same as Haryana. So Congress on its own cannot face the BJP, but when Congress is with Akhilesh, or Congress is with, let's say, Mamata or someone else, then the Congress ends up performing better.
So basically you need to ally with a strong regional player in order to perform.
Right.
Yeah. So that would be true if Karnataka and Telangana wouldn't have happened. See, in Karnataka, we faced on BJP head-on, and we defeated them. In Telangana, BJP was rising as a very strong player, and we still defeated them. So it can't be totally true. So I think to build such a narrative that this is the only way Congress wins is not true. I think state by state is a different thing. But it is right that a lot of our issues that we were not able to put on the ground, take to the people, build a narrative around, and probably BJP is doing a much better job than us, and we have to pull our socks and do that.
Okay, well, that's a humble man. Smith Singh, continue to be with us. Rennie, let me quickly get you into this conversation. No party other than the BJP has won 100 plus seats in Maharashtra Assembly since 1990. It is a resounding victory. What really worked for them, apart from all the doles, all the sops, and all the Ladli Behna schemes and alike that we saw in the last 1 year?
Well, as I had said earlier, Shweta, the one thing that worked was the micromanagement by the Maha Chanakya of the BJP. And I would say CM-elect Devendra Fadnavis. He not only discriminated the 48 BJP candidates who would be contesting on the official party symbol of the lotus, as well as 4 smaller alliance partner candidates. He also went further and discerned the winnable candidates for the Eknath Shinde faction, as well as the Ajit Pawar-led NCP. In addition to this, Fadnavis also inducted 9 BJP candidates to contest from the Dhanushya Ban of the Shiv Sena, Eknath Shinde, as well as 5 candidates from BJP to contest from the NCP clock symbol. Now that is micromanagement that was taken to a never before seen level, unprecedented in politics, where in coalition politics, one partner is that, I wouldn't call it intrusive, but disruptive in terms of a single-minded objective of ensuring that the Yuti alliance gets elected back to power with an unprecedented majority. So he has succeeded. Mind you, it was in the immediate aftermath of the Lok Sabha elections held a few months back, where he was indirectly blamed for the poor performance of the BJP that contested 28 parliamentary seats and was able to secure only 9 MPs for the BJP, which along with UP had a huge impact on the total number of MPs elected that came to 240 in parliament. Just if I may add, I believe that the Nanded bypoll for the Lok Sabha seat was positively going towards the BJP, last that I heard. So that would already have, that becomes 241 in parliament if in fact the BJP candidate has won, as I am being given to understand. So after the Lok Sabha, debacle, so to speak, Fadnavis untiringly made his efforts because he knew one thing from there.
So Fadnavis, Ajit, would you agree with that? Fadnavis is the man, is the brains behind what we are seeing as a major victory for Mahayuti right now. I mean, is he the factor alone? Because there was a lot of conversation about leakage of votes. We know how complex this, these alliances were, with Shiv Sena breaking into 2, with NCP breaking into 2. There were conversation as to how vote leakage could likely affect, the prospects of both Mahayuti and MVA. But it seemed to have worked in their favor. Is it the micromanagement that worked for Fadnavis? And would you call him the chief minister? Because that's what Rennie said.
See, what I would agree that he's certainly the man of the match. But, what I find kind of puzzling is that in the past, whenever in the assembly elections, BJP performed better, we would begin by saying, Modi hai to mumkin hai. Now that form somehow is missing from the BJP leaders, which I find really puzzling. And number 2, I think the one major reason for this great victory in Maharashtra is the jugalbandi between the RSS and the BJP, which did not exist during the Lok Sabha polls. In the Lok Sabha polls, you remember that statement by the BJP president where we said, we don't need the RSS. That kind of affected the fact that we heard there were differences between UP Chief Minister and the Home Minister. This time, this great jugalbandi between the RSS, which works at the ground, and leaders like Devendra Fadnavis. Also, I think Shinde, after all, has done an extraordinary job. After all, that policy of the Ladli Behna, Ladki Behna is actually a Shinde policy. He ensured that 7,500 rupiah reached about 2.5 crore women. That is equally important. So the man of the match is Fadnavis. But he's not the only victor. I think in this case, the whole ecosystem of the BJP.
Absolutely. And that will also mean that when it comes to who will be the chief minister,
Devendra Fadnavis.
It will be Devendra Fadnavis, but it's going to be a very hotly contested position, at least within the parties, within the highest ranks of the coalition.
One reason I feel it will be Devendra Fadnavis is because although Shinde has the numbers, but Shinde cannot be Dal Badulu because the other side doesn't have the numbers.
Right.
So Shinde doesn't have any options but to stay and let Fadnavis be the chief minister.
Absolutely. And with that, let's quickly listen in to Eknath Shinde. He spoke to the media earlier. Let's also listen in to what Devendra Fadnavis had to say. Remember, these are the likely chief ministerial phase of Maharashtra government, the new government in Maharashtra, which is likely to take up and turn the tables perhaps for what is existing Mahayuti right now.
मैं महाराष्ट्र के तमाम मतदाताओं को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ, उनका अभिनंदन करता हूँ, क्योंकि ये विक्ट्री जो है ये लैंडस्लाइड विक्ट्री है। ये मैंने कहा था कि महायुति को थंपिंग मेजॉरिटी मिलेगी और इसीलिए मैं तमाम मतदाता जो है, मेरी लाडली बहनाओं को मैं धन्यवाद देता हूँ, लाडले किसानों को मैं धन्यवाद देता हूँ और लाडले हमारे भाई हैं, लाडले सीनियर सिटीजन हैं, सभी वर्ग जो है, सभी वर्ग को मैं धन्यवाद देता हूँ कि उन्होंने ऐसी विजयश्री प्राप्त कर दी है कि न भूतो न भविष्य तो ऐसी विक्ट्री जो इस बार मिली है, जो 2-2.5 साल हमारी महायुति ने काम किया है। ये महायुति ने जो काम किया है उसके काम के ऊपर ये जनता ने शिक्कामोर्तब किया है, काम को तवज्जो दिया है, प्राथमिकता दी है और इसीलिए महायुति को इतनी बड़ी जीत हासिल हुई है। इसलिए मैं महायुति के पूरे महाराष्ट्र की जनता को तो धन्यवाद देता ही हूँ, उनका स्वागत करता हूँ, लेकिन महायुति के सभी कार्यकर्ताओं को भी धन्यवाद देता हूँ। उन्होंने जो काम किया है बहुत ही बढ़िया काम किया है और इस चुनाव में हमारे महायुति को जिताया है, इसलिए मैं बहुत बहुत उनका आभारी हूँ।
And there you have it, the sitting Chief Minister of Maharashtra likely to be replaced by Chief Minister-elect Devendra Fadnavis. We will of course get to know more as and when a decision has been made, but Devendra Fadnavis earlier speaking to the media there saying that a decision will only be made when the party convenes the meeting. All three party chiefs perhaps will sit down at the table to decide on what happens to the top administration of Maharashtra. All eyes will be on that. The BJP has now edged past SP or Samajwadi Party in UP by polls, recovering from the Lok Sabha upset. The Bharatiya Janata Party has won 3 out of 9 assembly by-poll constituencies as vote counting is continuing to progress. In fact, we are now given to understand that the 3 has now turned to 6. So BJP seem to be leading now in 6 out of 9 assembly constituencies. The BJP has won Ghaziabad, Phulpur and Khair for certain. The party appears to be poised to retain a significant hold in Uttar Pradesh's political landscape. Meanwhile, the Samajwadi Party has won 2 seats. Listen in to the UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath and his first reaction on that election victory.
आज का दिन अत्यंत महत्वपूर्ण दिन है। देश के अंदर महाराष्ट्र और झारखंड राज्यों के विधानसभाओं के चुनाव के परिणाम आए हैं और विभिन्न राज्यों में उपचुनाव के परिणाम भी हम सबके सामने स्पष्ट हुए हैं। आज का जो जनादेश है, अगर हम उत्तर प्रदेश की दृष्टि से देखें तो 9 विधानसभा क्षेत्रों में ये चुनाव हुए हैं और ये पूरे प्रदेश में फैले हुए विधानसभा सीट्स हैं, जिनमें भारतीय जनता पार्टी गठबंधन ने 7 सीटें जीती हैं। इस ऐतिहासिक विजय के लिए इसका श्रेय देश के यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री आदरणीय श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व को, उनके मार्गदर्शन को जाता है, क्योंकि उनका यशस्वी मार्गदर्शन और नेतृत्व ही हमें डबल इंजन सरकार को सुरक्षा, सुशासन और समृद्धि के मार्ग पर आगे बढ़ा करके लोक कल्याण के कार्यक्रमों को जमीनी धरातल पर उतारने के लिए प्रेरित करता है। ये प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के यशस्वी नेतृत्व पर जनता जनार्दन के विश्वास की मोहर है। जनता जनार्दन को अटूट विश्वास है कि मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में उनकी नीतियां, उनके निर्णय देश और समाज के अनुकूल हैं और उस अनुकूलता पर जनता जनार्दन की मोहर है।
नहीं, चैलेंजिंग तो पूरे उत्तर प्रदेश में जो उपचुनाव हुए हैं सभी विधानसभा सीटों के लिए चैलेंजिंग चुनाव इसीलिए था कि कहीं ना कहीं भारतीय जनता पार्टी प्रशासन का 100% प्रयोग करके चुनाव लड़ रही थी।
देखिए, उत्तर प्रदेश में पहले से ये तय था कि ये पूरी तरीके से सरकार अपने सरकारी तंत्र के बदौलत और अपने पुलिस के बदौलत चुनाव लड़ रही है और चुनाव जीतने का प्रयास कर रही है।